This is why you're going to need to watch Formula E this season. Okay, let's start off with a bit of a backstory of both sports. Formula One is the pinnacle of international open-wheel racing. Established in 1950, is a high-speed, technologically advanced motorsport that features cutting-edge cars and some of the world's most skilled drivers. In contrast, Formula E, introduced in 2014, is a relatively newer series focusing on electric-powered cars, emphasising sustainability and urban racing. Let's do some comparisons. First up, costs. The annual sponsorship revenue that Formula E generated for the 2023 season was estimated at $121.5 million. But compare that to the F1 2023 season, for sponsorship revenue, you're looking at $2.1 billion. So the gap is very clear and F1 dominates. So how much money do these cars cost then? An F1 race car costs from $12 to $15 million, whereas a Formula E car can cost as little as $150,000. Let's have a look at the tracks they race on. F1 races race on traditional tracks, often with longer distances, while Formula E races take place on temporary street circuits in city centres. Additionally, F1 has a longer history and higher speeds, while Formula E emphasises close competitive racing and environmental consciousness. Speed. Here you can see a Formula 1 car and a Formula E car going around a track. You can see actually that the Formula E car isn't that far behind. Now, considering the price difference in cars and teams, the Formula E car is only slightly behind and in some tight turns can outperform a Formula 1 car. Formula 1 cars produce more than 1,000 brake horsepower and Formula E cars produce 475 brake horsepower, around there. Formula E slightly performs 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds and Formula 1 2.6 seconds. Also, ex-Formula 1 drivers have made their way onto the grid of Formula E and have also become Formula E champions. So now we know a little bit about both sports, I'm going to give you 4 reasons why you should be watching Formula E this season 10. Number 1, the races are exciting. The tracks are tight, making it thrilling, closer racing, and unpredictable outcomes. Number 2, the cars are high tech. They feature some of the most advanced and cutting-edge technology in motorsport, including the latest in electric powertrains tech, showing what's possible and could be brought into electric vehicle production cars. Number 3, double header races. Some weekends you have a double header, which means you get 2 lots of qualifying and 2 lots of races, Saturday and Sunday, packing all of that action into one weekend, meaning lots of entertainment for us. Number 4, fast charging pit stops. In season 10, they're bringing in 30-second pit stops. They're going to be mandatory, where they can charge 4 kilowatt hours of energy in just 30 seconds. Wish I could charge my electric car that quick. This will unlock 2 attack modes, which can be used later in the race to increase power from 300 kilowatts to 350 kilowatts for a certain time. For years, people have wanted F1 to be more competitive and for the racing to be a little bit closer, not have people finishing in first with a 30-second gap, Max Verstappen. Formula E brings this close racing as cars have the same chassis and same batteries. They're all the same weather spec tyres, which they have 4 sets of. And because of this tight and close racing, there's been some huge crashes in the sport. The very first Formula E race, on the final lap, on the final corner, there was a crazy crash between Heidfeld and Prost. And since then, the crashes have kept coming. Season 10 in Formula E brings us 17 races for the first time, using the Gen 3 race cars. New tracks include Misano, Tokyo and Shanghai. We got invited by the Nissan Formula E race team to Le Mans to learn a little bit more about the sport and also an opportunity to chat to their drivers and experience some of their training. It's very exciting times. I've managed to nab one of the Formula E Nissan drivers, Sasha Fenestraz. How are we doing?
Very good, very happy to be here and showing you a little bit of what's our racing world, let's say.
Let's do it. We're going to talk about maybe a little bit of the differences. First of all though, for people that maybe haven't discovered Formula E, what's one of the reasons why it's kind of better to watch than Formula 1, would you say?
Firstly, the racing. I mean, until the last lap, you just don't know who's going to win. You know, it's all about the energy management. It's a lot of energy management for us, something that I'm struggling because, of course, it's my first season. So It's something completely new that nobody's, as a racing driver, you're not used to. But so for people who doesn't know, watch a race. It's only street circuit, so it's like Monaco F1, but every single race is in different New York, London. We go everywhere. It's mega. And the racing, it's super good. I mean, we have so many overtakes, so many fights, contacts, and etc.
Yeah.
So it's
Super
pretty
close.
cool. Super close fight.
Why is it, for people that may not be aware, why is it just street circuits? Why not other racetracks?
It's all about trying to bring motorsport into the center of cities, you know, accessible to people who, you know, when you go to big tracks like Formula One, let's say Spa or etc., you know, it's very far from big cities. Here we bring the entertainment to the center, to the city, the electrify. This is I really think this is the future, you know, this racing, racing, it's going to be the future in the next decade or so. So, you know, for us to show people what we can achieve already, this is our goal, let's say.
We've got the Gen 2 car. Talk us a little bit about...
Gen 3 here.
Yeah, let's talk about this one first, the older Gen. What key features are about this one?
So, I used to be a reserve driver for when this car was driving. Unfortunately, I didn't fully race a full season on it, but it was
Your
a
number,
great
right?
car.
23,
That's my number 23. I was 23 years old. I just got 24, but I had 23 car, 23 years old in 2023. So it was kind of a lot of fun.
23 is Nissan, isn't the numbers
yes,
for
exactly.
in Japanese?
So
Nissan.
because I used to live in Japan, so I know a little bit of Japanese. And basically, Nissan means 2. So Ni is 2, San is 3.
Yeah. So
reason why 23. So
cool.
that was always kind of their main car. But here, Gen 2, 250 kilowatts maximum. Now the new generation 3, we have 350, so we have a lot more power. It's only rear wheel, well, it's rear wheel drive, but you can also only regenerate energy from the rear axle.
Right.
As on the new car, we can also recharge basically energy from the front, but also the rear, which is we can achieve a lot
but
longer
it's still,
races
because I said earlier, I thought they were this car. If we just have a look at this, I thought this was all-wheel drive, but it's actually not, is it?
It's not yet. I mean, the power, the systems are there to make it four-wheel drive, but at the moment we are only using it for recharge. The front axle is only to recharge when we brake.
Yeah.
When we accelerate, it doesn't traction, it doesn't push you forward. So it's still a rear-wheel drive, but it's the target of this championship in the future, I think in 2 years, is to be driving it four-wheel drive, which I drove the car four-wheel drive a few weeks ago.
What was that like?
Very fast. You know, we have a new tires for the future. It's like 2, 3, 4 seconds faster, you know.
So who's your inspirations? Who did you like take inspiration, drivers-wise, racing drivers? Who did you like?
I mean, I was always a big fan as a motorsport racing driver. Ayrton Senna. Senna was, it's my idol for forever. I lived all my life in Argentina, so Fangio was another iconic racing driver. But nowadays, it's difficult to pick up one. I mean, there is a lot of talented drivers to have respect for. I used to live with Lando, so because I'm a bit of a fan of Lando because he's a friend of mine. But
did you used to do some sim racing in the flat?
Yeah. We used to live together. We had 2 sims, and we spent way too much time on it.
Yeah, I bet he's a little banterous character, isn't he? So with the cars all being the same, right? Same chassis, the motors are different. What's the differential? Because if all the drivers are, all feeling confident on the same day, whereas Formula One's got like aero packages they change, that's their differential. What for Formula E? What's the edge so you guys can?
Well, the only thing we can, as a manufacturer, we can develop is the engine, the electric engine, the powertrain we call it. We can develop that. So each manufacturer, Porsche, Jaguar, us and other ones, each other can develop. So there is small differences, but you don't have the difference that you can see in Formula One, for example, this year with Red Bull being miles ahead of everybody. Here, as I said, last weekend, very good, finally a race to watch, interesting race. But that's a good thing about this channel. We all have the same car. It's only the powertrain we change it, but it's all about the same level. So the racing, as I said earlier, that's why the racing is so cool, because we have all the same cars. There is no excuse of them having a better car than us, there isn't that excuse in our world.
So going from a Gen 2 to a Gen 3, because when you look at a Gen 2 car, like
it's quite different,
the aero, right? So So you got rid of all this and the wheels completely
open. Which is a shame.
Now.
I didn't like that.
You like this part?
It's kind of futuristic, let's say. It looks cool from the side, but of course this is the new future. It's very different. I mean, as you can see, the body works.
It's smaller as well. Smaller.
It's a lot smaller. Inside the cockpit is a little bit bigger, but not much. We have a new steering. I can even show you.
Yeah, he can get in. It's his car.
It's kind of So it's a demo steering. So this doesn't work, but basically
we can show that to the camera.
This is our new steering, which there is a lot more buttons.
Yeah.
Nowadays, at the moment, we have over 300 different options on the steering to change off.
Wow.
So during the race, we have a lot of work to do, live, which makes it very difficult. You have the paddles that we don't have gears, of course.
It's all carbon fiber, is it?
Yeah. So they don't work here, but normally you use them
for
not
demo,
for upshift because we don't have shift, we don't have gears.
No, of course you don't have to worry about that.
You don't have anything. Basically, we brake with this in the races sometimes.
Yeah, okay.
We use this as braking. This is a regen paddle. Basically, it regenerates energy, so you kind of slow down with it. And then each team has its own thing. So I can choose. I want this to make X thing, you know.
And then we've got the Gen 3 car here, the Gen 2. What, in your opinion, which one do you think looks a little bit more like better, like more meaner?
I should be saying this one, but for me it's this one.
Do you know, I was walking around earlier and a lot of people thought that was the Gen 3.
Yeah.
Just because
it's a lot smaller, the Gen 3.
Yeah, and it looks kind of futuristic, whereas this is kind of very, it's fighter jet
it's
inspired,
it's more like a normal Formula car, really, because this is more futuristic, let's say. This is more of a kind of normal, the very weird things in this one also. You don't have a proper rear wing like you have in Formula 1. You don't have a proper
so this
plate
is just
there.
Flat through.
Exactly, but it's a very draggy car. Draggy, it means, it has a lot of friction in the air. This car compare a little bit to the Generation 2. Reason why the racing is so close now.
Oh, and it's getting even closer.
And it's getting even closer, yeah.
Because when you look at the air on that, obviously you've got wheel covers and then, like you say, the wing, whereas this one, like you said, draggy.
It looks less, but it's actually more for some reason. And it's something that we're trying to find a way, to have the less drag possible. The less drag means less energy and etc.
So driving these this season, last season 9, you absolutely loved it compared to that one because you've.
It's different, because we have a new tire this year. Yeah. We have a Korean tire, which is a Hankook. Yeah. This was Michelin, and I mean, let's say the Michelin had a little bit more grip. It was a softer kind of compound. Softer tire means faster for people who's not into racing. Here we have a little bit of a stiffer tire. Yeah. So basically, they made it harder for us because they gave us a more powerful car, less grip, lighter, and straight circuits.
It's only one tire, right? So you only get one tire, don't you? Is it just one all-weather? It's four lots?
Exactly.
And that's it. So like Formula 1, for example, you've got, medium, soft,
medium, super soft.
Whereas everyone's got the same all-weather Hankook tires.
So that's another thing about, not only we only have the same car, but we also have the same tire. So again, there isn't that excuse of, he did lap because he's a soft tire. Of course, then you have the attack mode. Yeah. Attack mode is the 350 kilowatts.
Explain a little bit about attack mode then. This is like maybe another reason why it might be better than Formula 1. So
yeah, you have a more strategy.
For someone who doesn't know about Formula E, and it's like, what is attack mode? Because that sounds like something on Call of Duty or like a computer game. So what do you do?
So basically, attack mode, it means we need to take it twice in the race. Yeah. It's at least twice. It's
everyone
this year,
has to do it.
Everybody has to do it. It's 8 minutes, but you need to do it. You can either do 4 minutes, or 6 plus 2, or etc. But you need to use the 8 minutes twice.
Right.
No, sorry, 8 minutes in total
of the race,
and 2 times attack, and that gives you 50 kilowatts more, which is a lot more power. I don't know exactly in horsepower.
350? Is that 350 is about 469 brake horsepower.
Okay, well there we go. My engineer,
new best mate. So 350 kilowatts is the max, but you don't always get it unless you do the attack.
Exactly. So you have it qualifying the 350. You have qualifying and attack. The rest is 300, the basic power. But the other thing is coming up. Normally next year we have a pit stop with recharge. I don't know, that's not
is that
yet.
Like 30 seconds with 600 kilowatts?
Exactly.
So you could charge the car in 30 seconds?
Yeah, not everything, but I think it's about 10% of battery
10%.
in only 30 seconds. I mean, that's what I said earlier. This championship has such a big, there is no limit. Every year it's going to be better and better.
So what's your realistic goal for you? Where do you want to be? There's 11 teams, right? 22 drivers. Where do you want to be when the season 10's finished?
Whew. I mean, only my second year, I'll be happy if I can score some podiums. Yeah. Already this year we were very close. Just been unlucky every now and then. But I would say if I can finish top 6 in the championship, I'll be very happy for a second season. We are relatively a new team, a lot of new people inside the team. I'm new. So, as I said, if we can score some podiums already, I'd be pretty happy with that.
And one thing you don't get in Formula 1, if you get a podium, a pole, you get 3 points, right?
Yes, you get
points if you come pole.
You pole, and then the fastest lap a little bit also, then of course the race and etc. So this year, for example, I had one pole, one that was taken away, but that gave us a few extra little points, let's say.
Fantastic, I love it. Well, you've been absolutely amazing.
Thanks, man.
And he told me I was really good at all the activities.
I really think you should start,
We'll do
Nissan,
an episode of Drag Race.
He will
next
take
time.
Exactly.
No, thanks again, man.
Thanks,
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Take care.
So, will you be watching Formula E Season 10 when it comes around? Or will it strictly be Formula 1 only? I would love to know what you guys think about the sport. Do you think it could ever overtake F1 in terms of popularity? Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. As always, throw us a like if you like the video, get a sub to Car Chat TV, and I'll see you on the next one. If you've made it this far, thank you ever so much for watching. I've just popped up 2 more videos on your screen that you also may like. If you do watch one, let me know what you think.